I don't want you to know what it feels like to keep all of this pain so concealed. Like I want out of this plane, I told my psych, you don't need to, you don't need to. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad, I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math, the answer's always been sad, yeah. I'm a zero summation, lost in translation. Here's my resignation, from this life I'm not staying. My whole lifestyle passing fad. You'll remember the times we had, the times we had, yeah. All these pleasures my brain can't have, I want out, so please don't be sad. Give it up cause I'm getting out, don't be sad, you could let it out. All the shit I'm forgetting now, my whole life I've been checking out. All I said you could send it out, light it up, now I'm headed out. This is the end of my part now, we will be never apart, no. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad, I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math, the answer's always been sad, yeah. Don't leave, I need you with me. Don't die, I need you alive. Don't go, don't leave me alone. You said, yeah. My entire life feels like one big mistake, and all these pills inhibit re-uptake. I can't arrive at any reason to wait. Take it one at a time, only take it one night at a time. And I don't care, cause I don't give, I take from this world so superficial and fake. In all your joys I simply cannot relate. Take it one at a time, only take it one night at a time. I say goodbye, it's getting late now. Please don't cry, you'll know I made it out. Say goodbye before I fade out, before I fade out, before I fade out. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad, I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math, the answer's always been sad, yeah. I'm a zero summation, lost in translation. Here's my resignation, from this life I'm not staying. My whole lifestyle passing fad. You'll remember the times we had, times we had, yeah. Let it out, all the shit I'm forgetting now. My whole life I've been checking out. All I said you could send it out, light it up, now I'm headed out. I don't want you to know what it feels like to keep all of this pain so concealed. Like I want out of this plane, I told my psych, you don't need to, you don't need to. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad, I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math, the answer's always been sad, yeah. I'm a zero summation, lost in translation. Here's my resignation, from this life I'm not staying. My whole lifestyle passing fad. You'll remember the times we had, the times we had, yeah. All these pleasures my brain can't have, I want out, so please don't be sad. Give it up cause I'm getting out, don't be sad, you could let it out. All the shit I'm forgetting now, my whole life I've been checking out. All I said you could send it out, light it up, now I'm headed out. This is the end of my part now, we will be never apart, no. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad, I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math, the answer's always been sad, yeah. Don't leave, I need you with me. Don't die, I need you alive. Don't go, don't leave me alone. You said, yeah. My entire life feels like one big mistake, and all these pills inhibit re-uptake. take from this world so superficial and fake. In all your joys I simply cannot relate. Take it one at a time, only take it one night at a time. I say goodbye, it's getting late now. Please don't cry, oh no, I made it out. Say goodbye before I fade out, before I fade out, before I fade out. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad, I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math, the answer's always been sad, yeah. I'm a zero summation, lost in translation. Here's my resignation, from this life I'm not staying. My whole life's a passing fad. You'll remember the times we had, times we had, yeah. Let it out, all the shit I'm forgetting now. My life I've been checking out. All I said you can send it out. Light it up, now I'm headed out. I don't want you to know what it feels like to keep all of this pain so concealed. Like I want out of this plane, I told my psych, you don't need to, you don't need to. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad, I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math, the answer's always been sad, yeah. I'm a zero summation, lost in translation. Here's my resignation, from this life I'm not staying. My whole life's a passing fad. You'll remember the times we had, the times we had, yeah. All these pleasures my brain can't have. I want out, so please don't be sad. Give it up, cause I'm getting out. Don't be sad, you could let it out. All the shit I'm forgetting now. My whole life I've been checking out. All I said, you could send it out. Light it up, now I'm headed out. This is the end of my part now. We will be never apart, no. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad, I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math, the answer's always been sad, yeah. Don't leave, I need you with me. Don't die, I need you alive. Don't go, don't leave me alone. You said, yeah. My entire life feels like one big mistake, and all these pills inhibit re-uptake. I can't arrive at any reason to wait. Take it one at a time, only take it one night at a time. And I don't care, cause I don't give a take from this world so superficial and fake. In all your joys I simply cannot relate. Take it one at a time, only take it one night at a time. I say goodbye, it's getting late now. Please don't cry, oh no, I made it out. Say goodbye before I fade out, before I fade out, before I fade out. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad, I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math, the answer's always been sad, yeah. I'm a zero summation, lost in translation. Here's my resignation, from this life I'm not staying. My whole life's a passing fad. You'll remember the times we had, times we had, yeah. Let it out, all the shit I'm forgetting now. My whole life I've been checking out. All I said, you can send it out. Light it up, now I'm headed out. I don't want you to know what it feels like to keep all of this pain so concealed. Like I want out of this plane, I told my psych, you don't need to, you don't need to. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations. zero summation, lost in translation. Here's my resignation, from this life I'm not staying. My whole lifestyle passing fad. You'll remember the times we had. The times we had, yeah. All these pleasures my brain can't have. I want out, so please don't be sad. Give it up, cause I'm getting out. Don't be sad, you could let it out. All the shit I'm forgetting now. My whole life I've been checking out. All I said, you could send it out. Light it up, now I'm headed out. This is the end of my part now. We will be never apart, no. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad. I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math. The answer's always been sad, yeah. Don't leave, I need you with me. Don't die, I need you alive. Don't go, don't leave me alone. You said, yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the zoo. I am the Rusty Panda, and I am here for you. Today we've got E-Room up in the house. Oh, not we don't. Now we do.
Am I there?
You're here now.
Why, if I switch pages, do I go off? I went over to the Twitch page for a second.
No, you're still here. Video Ninja, it doesn't matter. It'll keep running for you.
All right.
All right. Well, welcome everyone. There's so many fantastic faces in here. I'm the Rusty Panda. If you've never been here before, this is WIKI Wednesday. Basically, we talk to the streamer, get 15 things they like, 5 things they don't, and we go down the Wikipedia rabbit hole talking about those things. So this is E-Room, everybody.
Hello, everyone. I'm E-Room. Welcome to Indianapolis, Indiana.
Absolutely. And that's exciting because you're not too far, but you're like just far enough. So you're in Indiana, I'm in Missouri, but I'm on the western side of Missouri. So you said you had 58-degree weather today, or 50-something degree weather today, but we had like 40, but it was so foggy.
Yeah, today was misty and foggy. The last couple of days, very foggy and misty.
Yeah, which is super. I don't know. I don't care for I don't care for weather. Okay, I care for sunshine, and that's about it.
yeah, I'm there with you on that.
So, let's get right into it. I've got your list right here. The first thing that I put up on the screen is craft, because I feel like that represents so much of your list. And so we've got, and by the way, hi, Davey, I didn't mean to ignore you. Hi, Chan. Hi, Miss Jellybeans, Peekaboo Draws, Sloths. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on over and rating and just here to have a good time. So, okay, so craft. So you put a lot of different crafting things on your list, but I want to talk about specifically is you building models. So tell me how you got started with that and what you like so much about it.
I don't really know how I got started with it because I was so young. I was like 5 years old.
Oh, wow.
Trying to put models together. I don't know if, I don't remember. I don't know if there was, an uncle or my dad or somebody had a model laying around and, but somehow I got into it and I just had a natural talent for it. Obviously, even wanting to do models at that age.
Yeah.
Build anything. Yeah, I've still got one toy. But when I was 5 years old, I got my first power saw, a little power jigsaw, and my first power drill. And I used to make my own toys when I was a kid and play with them, I had, we weren't like poor and had to make my own toys. I just did it because I wanted to. Everybody else was playing with Hot Wheels and G.I. Joes, which, I had them too. But I was making my own cars and airplanes and anything I could think of to make and using them as toys. Yeah. And I've still got one from all them years. I've got an airplane that I made way back in the day.
Oh, really? So is it like a big one, a wooden one? Like what kind of airplane?
It's crude. It's a wooden one. I don't know, about, better than a foot, 14 inches, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
just basically a cross, if you will, of two boards nailed together. I think I might have it. Hold on, let me look real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Let me see.
And yes, I don't know how well it'll show up. Uh, but yeah, it was basically. Let me try to hold it up.
Oh, okay. Hold on, I'll make you bigger. 1 second. There we go. Look at that.
And yeah, there we go. Uh, yeah, it's basically two pieces of wood, kind of in a wedge, with this board wedged between them. Uh, for the wing, this was the fuselage, and this was the wing. And I painted it blue and silver. I guess that's what I had access to.
Right.
Blue and silver on one side. I don't know what's top or bottom. And red and yellow on the other. So I guess that's the paints I had to use. I used one nail, way too long. It went through it, and it looks like I bent it over.
Right.
Yeah. So this wings move a little bit. I don't know if I planned it that way or only had one nail or what.
Right.
But then I used my drill and drilled a little hole through the wing here. And then I tied a string to it, and I used to just swing it around and smash it into the trunk of the tree out in the front yard. And I can't believe it still exists. And
Yeah.
but it's the only one I have left after all them years, and I've probably made I don't know, a couple dozen different toys when I was a kid. Yeah, yeah. I wish I had them all, to tell you the truth, but this is the only one that I know of survived. So my airplane.
Yes. Very
So,
nice.
but I'm
I think that's incredible that you still have that and that you were so creative as a kid.
and I've probably done. I still do models to this day, obviously, but I've done. I hate to say thousands of models, but I've easily done hundreds of models. Yeah. And
Okay.
a lot of them, maybe not so much when I was 5, 6 years old, but into my teens and since, some that are, I mean, highly detailed. Yeah, I mean, highly detailed. From normally you get a model kit, a car, and you just kind of put it together. If you do it a little bit better, you paint it and this and that. Take it a step further, and you start adding spark plug wires and making the lights work and stuff like that.
Wow.
I've never entered a model building contest. I've always kind of wanted to, but I've always thought that I built some contest winners. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Aram is definitely the variety streamer, and a variety in a different way, a variety of arts and creativity, not so much like variety, just like video games and that sort of stuff. And by the way, thank you for putting my name in variety streamer people you should know. That I saw that today, and I was really honored to be on your list. So thank you for that, for putting my name in like the shout outs in your yellow.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
That made me
Yeah.
really happy. So thank you
I've,
for
I've,
that.
I've got quite a few I need to add to that. Actually, I need it. It takes a little bit of doing to add that or amend it because they're all different pages, and I got to fill the page up and remake it, and then reload it all into the OBS so it works with the slideshow. So it's not something I can just sit down and do in a couple minutes. So
Right.
I've got a list here of others that I need to add to it too. So
That
hopefully I get to do that soon.
you are such a kind person. And from what I've seen, you just really are just a genuinely good person. So,
Oh, thank you.
I really appreciate that. So, um, okay, so we're talking about crafting, we're talking about modeling. But one thing, I'm going to take a sidebar and then we're going to come back to crafting. I'd like you to open a Kinder Egg if you have one.
You want to do it now? Yes, we have one actually. You want to do it now? Or you want to wait till right a little bit before we sign off, which is what we usually do.
Okay, we can do it before you sign off. That's totally
Yeah,
fine with me.
yeah. Time we go through it, it'll probably take 4 or 5 minutes maybe to go through the whole thing. So
That's
it's a process. But yeah, we've got a Funko Harry Potter Kinder Egg to open. We're trying to get the set together. We've got 5 of them so far. So
so what okay, so what started that doing that on stream?
did start that. I don't even know. Yeah, I have no idea. More than likely, I'm thinking Penguin Superhero is basically behind it.
Okay.
I'm thinking she sent me uh, Kinder eggs from UK, which are different than USA Kinder eggs. That's a whole nother story.
Right.
Uh, but she it sent me a goodie box of different chocolates and goodies from UK, and I believe there was like Kinder eggs inside of them, and I didn't know what it was, so I opened, oh, a little toy. I was like, oh, well, we'll do this on stream, and then it kind of got out of hand from there. So yeah, if anything, I'd have to give the credit to Penguin Superhero for me opening Kinder eggs on stream.
That's epic. And so, does she continuously send you them, or do you use the American ones now?
All the above. Yeah, she doesn't continually send them to me, but she sends me quite a few quite often. We recently opened, I don't know, like they were 3 packs. I think she sent 10 of them. So we recently opened 30 Kinder eggs that she'd sent. Yeah. And then I
Wow.
saved the chocolate. Their chocolate in the UK one is different than the chocolate USA one, uh, which you kind it's not as easy to bake with, put it that way. But I use the chocolate in the UK ones. I'll save it in a bowl or what have you, and then I'll use it to bake with, add to brownies, cookies, and stuff like that because it's really, really good creamy milk chocolate. Yes.
Wow, that's so creative. That's so innovative. Wow. So how so you're saying that it's creamier in the UK than it is in the US? Is that what you're saying, or like it's just a
Yeah,
completely different recipe?
let's say I don't have a comparison on the recipe, but yeah, it seems like I've had several different kinds, brands, if you will, of UK chocolate compared to USA chocolate. And none of them are really alike. All chocolate's different. All chocolate's good. And don't get me wrong.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, just totally different. And I found that the milk chocolate from UK is, in general, quite a bit more creamy, if you will, than
Mhm.
chocolate from USA. The Kinder chocolate, among others, tastes nothing like say a Hershey's with chocolate would taste, or something from USA.
Right. And I feel like the US has always been more sugar hype, right? And so I feel like just so different, it's a different taste than if you go overseas and you have more creamy chocolate, then you
Yeah,
have something more like sugary and that sort of type, especially milk chocolate and white chocolate. That's why I go for the dark chocolate. I'm a dark chocolate lover.
I'll say, yeah, I'm sure they use different ingredients, and I would pick dark chocolate over twice of either of the others any day of the week. Yeah, give me some dark chocolate. Like I say, I love all chocolate, but yeah, if I had to pick a stack and the small stack was the dark chocolate, I'd pick the small stack.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember in like second grade, they had us do like taste buds, right? And so you do a grape and it's sweet, and then you do like a lemon and it's sour, and then you do dark chocolate and it's bitter. And so ever since second grade, I was like, I absolutely can never eat dark chocolate because it's bitter. But your taste buds change over time. And by the
Yeah.
time I was in my 20s, I was like, dark chocolate's the thing to do. Like it's
Plus, you might have got a really bitter one because they sell different degrees of bitterness for dark chocolate. You can get different percentages
right.
of dark chocolate, and some of it gets really bitter. I mean, really bitter. So I go for the more mild dark chocolate, but I can do a little bit of the bitter. I've had some dark chocolate before that was so bitter, it wasn't really enjoyable. Yeah, I didn't even eat it. Yeah.
Right.
So I go towards, I don't know, 89% maybe. I'd have to see it on the package. But yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
I think that's where mine stops as well, probably around that area. When I was doing keto for a while, that was the only like sweets I could eat because it was much lower in sugar. And so that way I could still have like chocolate with like a smidge of peanut butter on it, and then be like, wow, that was a treat. So I've really become fond of dark chocolate for that reason. So if you had to choose like Ghirardelli, Lindt, like what's your go to brand?
Uh, whichever's on sale over at the grocery store, usually. If I just pick running, I just maybe because of availability and placing on the store shelves, I usually grab Hershey bar, Hershey dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'll grab the larger size bar, especially I'll wait till catch them on sale or what have you.
Right.
'Cause I think you better value than your regular size candy bar. And every now and then, absolutely love all almonds. I'll get the Hershey dark chocolate with almonds if they have it. So it's not
Yeah.
always, they don't always have that. But yeah, go to here would be to purchase at a store, mainly because of availability
Right.
and placement. I'd have to say Hershey's. I love Dove's quite a bit. Dove dark chocolate.
Oh, Dove is great.
Yeah, really, really good. A little bit more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Ghirardelli's as well. Uh, yeah, just yeah, like I say, I love all chocolate. I even love the little generic chocolates that come with the little any kind of holiday pack or this or that. Yeah, even that, it's good chocolate to me. Yeah.
So what about peanut butter with your chocolate?
Uh, Reese cups come to mind. Perhaps one of the greatest foods ever made. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
My husband and I would tend to agree. We love the peanut butter with the chocolate. Um, I was also thinking like peanut butter M and M's and that sort of chocolate, like veering into like candy rather than just chocolate. So,
Yeah, yeah. I like the M&M peanut. If you can find M&M dark chocolate with peanut, they're my favorite by far.
hmm
Uh, I like the peanut butter ones as well. So yeah, it doesn't necessarily extend, just to chocolates. It could be other candies. Maybe Chico Sticks has a little bit of peanut butter in it. I know a couple of them do. But I love peanut butter in general. I'll just sit there and put it on bread or put it on saltine crackers and,
hmm
basically make a meal out of a sleeve of crackers and peanut butter.
absolutely. And so you are a chunky or a smooth kind of guy?
Either or. Yeah, it doesn't
Okay.
matter. Yeah, either or. Yeah, which surprises me because normally I don't like other stuff in my food. Like I love Jello, but I won't eat Jello if there's anything in it. If I can look through there and see something, I won't eat it. I don't, no matter what it is, I won't do it.
Right.
I love vanilla or banana pudding, whichever, and I love vanilla wafers. But
Oh, yeah.
I won't eat them together. I love them both. I won't eat them together. Just stuff like that. Yeah, I don't. Anytime I eat ice cream, I never eat ice cream. Usually, never. It depends on the definition of this. Like I won't go buy a thing of Breyers, for example, with fruit or nuts or anything in it. If I do, it's just going to be plain vanilla or plain something. Except for maybe Dairy Queen, I do like the blizzards with Reese cups in them. Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. Again, peanut butter is goes with a lot of stuff. So,
yeah, good
um,
stuff.
okay. So back to chocolate. So is that something? Is this like your guilty pleasure? Or is this something that's like a daily thing, or like where does chocolate rate on your list of things that you love?
Pretty high. I'll say I use normally uh, eat chocolate sometime at some point every day. Yeah, usually at nighttime, sometime after dinner, a little bit before I go to bed or whatever. I'll have some sort of chocolate. I've always got chocolate available, and there's been times where I've been out of chocolate. Not when I lived here, but when I lived in my old apartment. There have been times where I was like, nighttime's getting here. I'm out of chocolate. Uh, Bedtime soon. Back in when I was younger, uh, 11 o'clock at night, whatever. Bedtime's coming up. I'm gonna have to walk down the store and get me a chocolate bar because I don't have any to eat before I go to bed here in a little bit. And I would do that. I would actually walk, 3 or 4 blocks that way, 3 or 4 blocks back home, just to get a daggone candy bar. Yeah,
Wow. Yeah, my dad was very much that way too. Like he had to have chocolate in like his night. For a while, he did chocolate drizzled popcorn, as like a not eating full amounts of chocolate, but after that it was M&Ms. Like
M&Ms.
every type of M&M you could think of when they came out with the new flavor, caramel, pretzel, when they were coming out with all those new flavors all the time, he would take them, he would try them, he would eat them. That would be his night snack. All
So
right.
I've got all different kinds of forms of chocolate. Actually, I've got. I don't have to have necessarily the same candy bar every night, just as long as it's something chocolate. Uh, yeah, and like I say, yeah, it doesn't have to be the same thing. I will get on little kicks though, where I'm on. I get on a little Reese cup, and I'll eat Reese cups for a few weeks, few months, what have you, and then I'll get a kick for something else, Snickers bars or something. I'll get the daggone Snickers bars or something like that. But it's not like I have to have that certain candy bar every night because if I don't, if I eat Reese cups for a couple nights, all of a sudden I don't have Reese cups. But I got other chocolates. It's not like I'm running to the store to get Reese cups. I just have to have chocolate. So
Right. And so, okay, so you've got chocolate bars, we've got Hershey's with almonds. You're talking about Snickers. What's a candy that that isn't that? Like, would you if Snickers sounds like one of them, but like I like zero bars. I don't know if you've ever had a zero bar before, but it's like nougat, white chocolate, very hearty. And hey, Amanders, welcome on in. So that's the type that I like, a zero bar. What's the deluxe bar that you would get if it was on sale?
I do like zero bars. Yeah, I like pretty much any candy bar, uh, except for anything. I don't like coconut.
Oh, I
To a
don't like coconut either.
to a degree, I can't do like almond joys, mounds, any. No, I wouldn't even. I don't even scrape the chocolate off of them.
No. You start licking it off, trying to get around the.
I give all that one away. Buy my cousin, trade my cousin for his good candy
There you
flavors.
go.
But I do like mentioned earlier Chico sticks. I believe there's coconut in Chico sticks, and I'll eat a little bit of coconut that way, but I wouldn't eat just the regular white coconut on a candy bar or a cake or anything. I don't like the German chocolate cake. I think it's got coconut on it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't like anything coconut at all. Texture, I love the flavor. Years ago, and I don't know if it's still a thing or not, but they had Lifesavers had different kind of tropical fruit flavors, and one
Mhm.
of them was white, and it was a coconut. And I absolutely loved that.
Yeah.
So I don't think, and what's the slushy and snow
Pina
cone that I like?
colada.
Yeah, I'll get whenever I'm available. I'll get a slushy during the summertime or a snow cone pina colada, which is coconut, I believe.
Mhm.
Absolutely love that. So I don't think it's a taste thing. I think it's more of a texture with the fibery parts of the coconut. But yeah, I would not eat a Mounds or an almond joy bar unless I absolutely had to. Put it that way, and
Right.
it'd be rough.
Yeah, I also do the I love the jelly beans, the white jelly beans, the coconut ones, and then pina colada, anything. So that's definitely interesting for me. Now, I was looking at this Chico Sticks and it said there's a sugar-free version that uses Splenda as a that's very interesting to me.
I
Um,
haven't had one in years. Yeah,
Almost like a Butterfinger without chocolate.
kind of. Yeah. And I may be wrong on the coconut in there. There's a couple different bars with coconut that I have eaten before. Chico Stick came to mind, and maybe Zagnut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one has toasted coconut and peanut butter and all that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I
I'm
will eat those. Yeah, but that's about as far as I go with coconut.
right because I believe like because it's toasted coconut, right? Like it's not flaky. It's the flaky that don't like you can't chew through. It doesn't
Yeah.
dissolve. Like it's just there.
The texture part of it. Yeah, I'm real
Yeah.
big on texture on foods.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go back to Jello for a minute. Because I am a big Jello fan. Now, do you also like gelatin, or do you like Jello pudding, or do you like both?
Both. Yeah. Either or. I'm not big on all the flavor. Give me any color Jello. Actually, the little cubes that shake. Pretty much any color of that. But I'm not that big on Most flavors of pudding, I think I pretty much like vanilla, banana,
Oh
and
yeah.
chocolate. And yeah, no tapioca or pistachio. There's a few other flavors, and I'm not big on that. Yeah.
No, I cannot do tapioca or rice pudding.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my husband loves it. I bring it home and I'm just like, please take it away. Oh my goodness. But yeah, banana pudding is where it's at. Banana, do you like butterscotch pudding?
Not so much anymore. It wouldn't. I wouldn't eat enough of it to warrant making it. When I was a kid, I used to. And that's funny you mentioned that. When I was a kid, I used to love butterscotch. A buddy of mine's mom had a candy dish. You know, back in the olden days, had a candy dish sitting by the door of their house. Every time I went over there, I could get a piece of candy, and it was always butterscotch. And I loved it. Yeah, and hadn't had it for years. We grew up, and whatever, and hadn't had it for years, and then tried some butterscotch later on. It wasn't recent or anything, and
Hmm.
I found that I didn't like it anymore. So I mean, I could suffer through it. I could eat it if I had to,
Hmm.
but in general, yeah, I'm not that much big on butterscotch anymore. Where I used to be when I was a kid. Yeah.
All right. So, okay, so eating jello as a kid, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so it's 1897, so it's 127 years old. But I'm assuming that it's changed a lot because I'll go to a buffet and they have clear white jello. I don't know if you've ever seen these before. They're cubes and they're clear and they're white. And
Mm.
they taste okay. They don't have much flavor to them, but I had to try them because I'm like they're jello cubes. Of course I'm going to eat one. But it's nothing like the jello cubes or jello that you would get out of the container. Um
Uh, I wonder if they're just leaving the dye out. Sounds like they might be leaving sugar out as well.
right.
I wonder if they're just leaving the dye out.
Let me let me do a quick Google. What is the clear jello at Chinese buffet? It's called Bing Fen, also called ice jelly. It's a Chinese dessert native to southwest China and provinces such as Sichuan, Gaiju, and Yunnan. It serves as a bowl of ice transparent jelly made from the seeds of Nicarandra. I can't say this, from a plant, along with toppings like haw flakes and wolfberries. So you can, I guess they want you to put fruit on it, which I'll never do. But yeah, it's just very interesting flavor. Like it's a gelatin
Hmm.
to try if you're a trying person and you'll try anything once. If you
I'd
ever go,
have to see it. Yeah, I'd have to see it first. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I wouldn't rule it out until I seen it if it's just Jello.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, what's your? You said you love all flavors. Do you have a go-to of gelatin?
It'd be cherry. With most things, it was cherry for a
Okay.
fruit flavor. Pop tarts, for instance, frosted cherry is my favorite. Snow cones, cherry is my favorite. Any kind of slush or slushy, cherry is my favorite. Uh, Bomb pop, I eat a lot of bomb pops, the red, white, and blue popsicles.
Mm-hmm.
Red is cherry, the white part is lemon, and blue's raspberry. The cherry is my favorite part of the bomb pop. As with Jello too. Jello would be cherry.
Yeah. And then I love pudding cups more than Jello personally, especially those chocolate vanilla twist ones. So you said you like one thing, like Breyer's vanilla. Do you do the vanilla twist ones?
Yeah, yeah. The pudding, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Really good. Yeah. Uh, they're kind of limited though. They got we don't have the best selection over here at the Kroger store that I go to or what have you.
Got it.
And a lot of times and I don't get them too often, but I do get them. I like pudding. I eat it quite a bit. I even got boxes that I've made it on stream even. But the Kroger brands, I usually get the Kroger brand as opposed to just the Jello brand
Mhm.
because it's a whole lot cheaper, and I like it just as well.
Right.
I really couldn't tell any difference, to tell you the truth. Yeah, they're both really good. But yeah, I like the chocolate vanilla swirl. There's a couple other flavors that I will, and I'll suffer through some strawberry Jello pudding. I mean, if I have to. but it wouldn't be my first pick. But
I,
definitely not tapioca or any of the others.
I don't think I could do strawberry pudding. I think I draw the line there.
And, and I can do strawberry ice cream too, but not a whole lot of it. You know, like I can eat the Neapolitan, which is vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry, the
Right.
pink, white, brown one. I love them, but I don't know. I could eat a whole bowl of vanilla or chocolate ice cream, but I don't know if I could just sit there and eat a whole bowl of strawberry ice cream. But I like it enough where I could eat some of it. Put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I grew up on gelato, and it was very interesting. So my family owned an Italian restaurant, right? And they had these sorbets, but the sorbets was actually in the fruit. So if you got a lemon sorbet, it was cut out of a lemon, and then the sorbet was put inside the lemon. But you can't obviously do that with strawberries. So
No.
what they do is get like this frozen cup, and they put the strawberry in it, and it isn't that bad. I can do like strawberry ice, but I really don't think I could ever do strawberry pudding.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but it's like the strawberry ice cream. I couldn't just sit there. I could eat a whole big bowl of vanilla or banana
Mhm.
pudding,
Oh
but
god, so good.
I could only eat some of the strawberry, not the whole thing.
You and I are like-minded when it comes to chocolate and everything. Do you like actual bananas or just banana flavored stuff?
Another one. I could eat a banana now if I had to, if I absolutely had to, but I would probably choose not to.
Mhm.
I used to love eating bananas as a kid, but not now. Not now. But I love banana flavor. When I was a kid, banana now and later's was my favorite. Banana wacky wafers, if anybody remembers them, was my favorite. I love banana pudding. I
Mm.
love whenever I go to, let's say, Steak and Shake, for example, or some place that can do milkshake, two sides, side by side.
Mhm.
I always get one side vanilla, one side banana. Yeah,
Yes.
I absolutely love some banana flavor, but I'm not big on eating the fruit of it itself. I was when I was a kid. I would nowadays if I had to, but not big on it at all. I couldn't tell you last time I've eaten a banana.
So I just need to come up with some way, because you keep saying if I had to, and I'm wondering in what situation would somebody make you eat things like bananas and coconut, and you're always like if I had to, and I'm like I need to know the situation in which somebody held you down and says you have to eat this coconut and banana.
No, it would be. That's funny. Good way to look at it. It would be a case of somebody forcing me. It'd be more of kind of well, you get to the point in life where you're so poor, you can't afford food, so you walk over to the little food box over there, and the
Right.
only thing in the food box is a banana. You could eat that or not. I'd probably eat it.
There you go. That makes a
Yeah,
lot more sense than what I was thinking.
yeah.
um all right, so yeah, banana flavoring. Do you like runts?
No, the candy.
Yeah.
I I don't like any really hard candy.
Okay.
I used to when I was a kid, jawbreakers or what have you, whatnot. Gobstoppers were a big thing when I was a kid.
Mhm.
But as a rule, I don't really like anything hard candy. I'm mostly chocolate. I'll venture off that road with a few other things here or there, but not big on the hard candy, except for there's a couple that I do like: Jolly Ranchers,
Oh yeah.
uh, some suckers, ones that I'm not necessarily crunching on, but you just kind of sit there until it dissolves, kind of thing.
Right. Dum Dums.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Dum Dums, Charms. If you can still find Charms nowadays, Charms
Wow,
had a
yeah.
real good cherry on the Charms. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I totally forgot about Charms. That's crazy. All right, so we'll get off the food kick for a little bit. Except for then now this might take up the next 20 minutes, Eram, so I just need you to understand that, okay?
No
On
worries.
on this channel, it is very pertinent that there is one topic that I'm very sensitive about, and that is pizza. So I need to know, because you're closer to Chicago, if you are a Chicago pizza person, if you are a New York style person, St. Louis style, what is your dish of choice with pizza?
I like all the above. I've been all over the country with the rock and roll band,
Okay.
and I've had a chance to sample pizzas from pretty much everywhere. Because anytime you got there, they give you. We had two pizzas for our load in. Whichever gig we went to, as soon as we got there, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there was short waiting on us, and shortly thereafter, a couple large pizzas showed up. So I've tasted pretty much most of them everywhere. Uh, as a rule, I don't. I only like meat. I'm a meat lover's kind of pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like anything else on the pizza. I can do mushrooms, but I don't like onions on a pizza. I don't like any of the peppers, red or green peppers or anything like that. Definitely not anchovies.
No.
But yeah, any kind of meat, anywhere from cheese to pepperoni to loaded with the meat lovers pizza, anywhere along that line. And I always like thin crust.
Yes.
I can eat any of the above, but I always looked at it. If I was going to get full, I would rather get full on cheese and pepperoni and the sauce, and not so much on the bread part. But I will eat both. I remember going and getting the Chicago deep dish pizzas. I remember back in the days they had one called Chicago's Pizza, kind of like a Noble Romans or Pizza Hut. Well, we go to Chicago's Pizza and get the deep dish or what have you. And I like that just as much. Pizza Hut, getting the deep dish or getting the thin. I pick the thin.
Mm-hmm.
But
So,
the best pizza we ever had. If you ever get a chance, go there. If I had money, I would go there, plan like a weekend little vacation just to go there to eat a couple times. But the best pizza we ever had was a place called Bimbo's.
okay.
Bimbos. It's a family name.
Mm-hmm.
Been there for a minute. It's in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Michigan. Okay.
Kalamazoo, Michigan. And this beat all the Chicago pizzas and all the New York pizzas and everywhere, LA, you name it. But hands down. But what really got me is at the time there was maybe at one time 9 of us band members. 5 members. We had a tour manager with us. I sold the merch. We had a stage manager uh, and sound engineer. So there was 9 of us. And rarely will you get 9 people to agree on something as such anywhere over anything.
Yeah.
More likely, one guy won't like something because somebody else likes it. When I was a kid, uh, I liked a certain baseball team, and my cousin didn't like that baseball team. The only reason was because I liked that baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
But all 9 of us agreed, and to this day, you can ask any of us. You can get on Facebook and type in the band name or any of the names. What's the best pizza you've ever had in your life? And they'll say Bimbo's Pizza. But yeah, we all 9 agreed on that. And another story is we had one delivered here to Indianapolis. My buddy Jimmy, his mom, Italian lady, she was like 75 years old. She cooked, she did this or whatever. And I kept raving, Bimbo's the best pizza you're ever going to have in your life. And my buddy Jimmy was like, no, it ain't, just because I liked it so much. So I got it here. We cooked it the rest of the way it needed to be cooked. And we gave his mom a slice of pizza. She took one bite of it. And she looked up and she said, I quote unquote, I believe that's the best tasting pizza I've ever had in my life. And
Wow.
I looked at my buddy Jimmy and I said, I told you so. And he just kind of smiled because he knew I won right then.
Wow, yeah. So, okay, so it was thin crust, you said, or what was the.
Yeah, there's some thin crust. They cut it into little squares as
Okay.
opposed to triangles. And each piece, we used to get sausage, I think, or pepperoni or one, but each piece, each little square had one like large chunk of sausage on it and maybe one pepperoni on it. And yeah, it's just something about it. I don't know if it was the meat. I think it was more the sauce or a combination of all the above.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was the best pizza I've ever tasted in my life. And 8 of my bandmates agreed with me. And like I say, we've been all over the country. So
9 out of 9 band members agree that Bimbo's is
yeah.
the place to be.
And another story is on our rider. We were pretty high level, so we weren't like riding around in the back of a Volkswagen, and we were in the early days. We were traveling around on tour buses and stuff. Playing House of Blues and
Wow.
bigger venues. We played a few sheds, amphitheaters, if you will, River Bend. Old Deer Creek here in Indianapolis, a few others. Uh, and on our rider included that we get two pizzas uh, delivered to us for the setup. Only one stipulation. They wanted two, I think, one cheese and one meat lovers pizza. And the only stipulation was from anywhere except Papa John's.
Yes.
Yeah. Anywhere except Papa John's.
Yeah.
So,
And that's so
and
funny because Papa John's is literally right on the screen. Like it's like right here, and there's no.
and I never, and it wasn't necessarily me. I ain't got no problem with Papa John's. I'll eat it. Won't be my first pick. I probably like it a little better than the Little Caesars.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of, depends on the toppings. I'm kind of like pizza with chocolate. There is no real bad pizza. I mean, if it's made right.
Right. Yeah, that's what my husband believes, and I am not a snob about many things. I really not. I try everything, but I'm very passionate about New York, New Jersey pizza. In my heart, it is truly the best pizza that could ever exist anywhere ever.
You haven't had bimbos yet.
I have not, and I am open to trying bimbos. I think that there's those little niche places that really can throw down on how good their recipes are, and I don't doubt that those places exist. But if I am going to order a pizza in New Jersey, it is going to be from a New Jersey pizzeria and not Domino's, Papa John's,
Yeah,
anywhere else.
yeah, exactly. And that was our thing. That was cool with the band thing is, pardon me, we got to try a lot of different pizza places we don't have here in Indiana. And just they would usually get, sometimes we'd get the normal, pizzas, your Domino's, Pizza Hut, such like that. But we got to try a lot of just, oddball. I say oddball pizzerias, little mom and pop pizzas, not necessarily chain pizzas, and had some really good pizzas out there. Come everywhere from thin crust, even pretty, basically some flatbread pizza,
Mm-hmm.
all the way to your thicker crust, the pizzas with the sauce on the top and the meats and stuff in the middle and
Yeah.
cheese, the ones in the pan with the little burnt edges even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to try a lot of different pizzas, and I couldn't really tell you even two of them because Bimbo's the one that always stood out.
Yeah.
Some of them I'd love, and I have no idea what they are, but some of them I'd love to try again. Yeah.
Yeah, you're very fortunate to have the pizza palette because I'm very jealous about that. Downtown Kalamazoo since 1959. I don't know Bimbo's Pizza. I'm just curious. I doubt it's on here. There's Bimbo's Bakery, but it's not what you think. I'm curious. So the band was called the Y Store.
Yes, correct. The
Oh my
word
god! Wait. The word Y. Yeah, you're in Wikipedia.
probably I don't know. Hard telling.
No, look, I'm telling you right now. I'm looking at it.
I'm in with what now?
The Y Store is in Wikipedia.
Yeah, yeah.
That is so wicked. You guys did Late Night with Conan O'Brien?
Yeah, we had a number one hit called "Lack of Water." Yeah, we had a number one hit. Yeah,
What?
I've hung out and partied with and seen and like I said, talked to and a lot of different rock stars and other people. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Not trying to brag or anything.
No, please brag. That is so cool. That is just so cool. Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Lack.
kind of Y store related. It happened in New York when we were touring with Mellencamp. Uh, and we were in New York, and we was out. Me and one of the band guys or something was out walking about during the day, and up in front of me was this big giant wall of paparazzi. And my first, being some idiot from Indiana, what are they doing taking my picture? So we kept walking a little bit closer. I mean, a wall of paparazzi. And about that time, there were some steps to my right that led up to a Chase Bank, which I didn't even realize. And this dude in this long trench coat comes out the Chase Bank down the stairs. sees the paparazzi on his right, immediately turns left, right where I'm standing. We run into each other chest to chest. And he's like, "Hey, you all right, man?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm saying, "Oh, my fault, man. You okay?" And he's like, "No, yeah, everything." So we pat each other on the back, and he goes past me. The wall of paparazzi go following after him. There's a couple of them standing around. Uh, and I looked at one of them. I'm like, "Who the hell was that?" And he goes, "Jean Henry." I said, "Huh?" So he repeated, "Jean Henry." And no, I'm from Indiana. I don't speak this. And I look over another guy, and he kind of looks at me. He kind of half laughed. He said, "That was John Kennedy, JFK Jr."
Wow.
So we just kept walking. But somewhere out there in the world, and I'll probably never see him. I'd absolutely love him. There's pictures of me and John F. Kennedy running into each other chest to chest, pretty much. Yeah, because I know they were taking pictures at that exact moment.
That is crazy.
Hey, I should have got old guy's name while I was there. I didn't think about it. I was like, "Oh, cool, man." We just kept walking.
Right.
Yeah, and like I say, I'll probably never know. I'll never see him. Yeah,
Wow.
that was one. That was probably the most famous. I don't know. That was probably one of the more notable people that I met on the rock and roll road. But it didn't have anything to do with music.
Right.
So,
Now I'm hearing Little Richard sat down with you.
yeah, actually, I sat down with him. We were. It was kind of. We were playing Hollywood House of Blues in Hollywood, and the band guys were doing something, and I think we were on a night off. Uh, and the band guys were doing something, and I was just like, "Man, you want to go here?" And I'm like, "Nah, no." So I just, was walking around by myself. I don't know if that's a good thing to do in LA. I had no idea. I'm from Indiana. But it was kind of surreal. I'm walking, uh, it wasn't long after that. I didn't even know where I was going to go. I was just going to walk around for a little bit, probably go back to the hotel. But a little bit ahead of me is three guys that I recognized from a band called The Stir out of, I want to say St. Louis.
Ooh.
Pretty sure The Stir. Uh, and we gigged with them quite a few times. We were good buddies. I was like, "Hey man, what are you guys? What are you doing here?" And they're asking me, "What the hell are you doing here?" I'm like, "Well, we're gigging over here," and they're like, "Well, we're gigging over there." And they're like, "You want to go get a beer?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I didn't know where they go, and I guess we were right by the Hollywood Hilton, so we went to the Hollywood Hilton, and we go in the lounge or whatever, and the bar area, and there's like couches sitting around the table, chair on this end, chair on this end, table, and couches. And I look around, and the place is pretty full. But there's a couch, and like a guy sitting here and a guy sitting here, one over here, maybe one across from him. And this spot was empty in this chair. So I sat down here, unbeknownst to me, and them guys sat over there, the guys with the stir, and sitting here for a second. Now I'm kind of looking around, saying, "Well, this is different." And I look over, and it's Little Richard right next to me, Tutti Frutti. I'm like, "Hey man, how you doing?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Yeah," shook his hand. That was it. I never got starstruck on any of the famous people I met. Unfortunately, I never asked to take pictures with them. I never asked for their autographs.
Mm-hmm.
All I have left is the memories and the stories of it. And I think they respect that more, because if I would have sat down and started geeking all over him, "Hey man, will you sign my whatever and this?" And they're like, "No, this dude's an idiot, man." But "Hey man, how you doing?" And then we started talking, with the band guys. So, but it was cool. Yeah, I got to hang out with Little Richard for a little bit, and we chatted. We're at the same table. We chatted or whatever. But I made sure never to geek out on anybody.
I feel the same way. I always felt like I'm pretty sure I've met a few celebrities whose names nobody recognizable, like that I can think of off the top of my head right now. But I don't geek. They're people. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like if I walked past somebody really famous and they started talking to me, I wouldn't be like, "Oh my god, can you sign my autograph?" and blah 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 blah. Like, no, they're people. If they need to talk to you, if I'm a cashier and they started talking to me, I'm not gonna ask them to sign my receipt. Like, it's just not gonna happen.
No, no.
So I think that's great. I think that's a great attitude. And you are right, by the way. Stir the band is from St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good guys. much. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think they're still together, but yeah, there was a good band back at the
It says
time. We're talking.
2016 to present.
Okay, maybe so. But when we were touring, our big time was in the later '90s, so that's when I would have seen them back then. So
Okay.
they've been at it for a minute then. I'll have to
Okay.
look them guys up on Facebook. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
Interesting. All right, well, cool. So you're super famous, and I'm not geeking out on you at all. So let's just. But I am kind of geeking out on you because I think you're fantastic.
Well, thank you.
Um,
I love telling the stories. There's so many, so
oh,
many.
and that's the best when you have those really like solid stories that you can just tell people that that's also what makes a really solid streamer. And so let's talk about that. So you said you love streaming on Twitch. It was on your things that you
Yeah, I think
like
it's pretty
list.
cool. Yeah. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a pain in the ass most times, but all in all, the big picture, it's pretty cool. Uh, it's it's a way to reach people all over the world. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What got you started?
Actually, the reason I'm on Twitch is because of Ted Yoder, who's no longer on Twitch.
Okay.
He's the best hammered dulcimer player in the world, hands down. Yeah, he's from Indiana, unbeknownst to me. But initially, I was watching random videos on YouTube, and I seen this one of Tears for Fears. Everybody wants to rule the world,
Mm-hmm.
with this guy named Ted Yoder, and it was his video, it wasn't theirs. So I clicked on it, and it was Kurt Smith and Jamie Woolman from Tears of Fears
Wow.
visited Ted at his house in northern Indiana. And they made a video, it went viral. It's got millions of hits or views or whatever. Ted's got a few viral vids. Yeah, he's good, real good. But I thought, man, yeah, this is cool, you know. So I watched a couple more of his vids and realized he's from Indiana. And I thought, well, hell, I'm gonna look his hillbilly up on Facebook. So I looked him up on Facebook and gave him a like or whatever. And at the time, he was doing Facebook live shows, so I joined in on them, and just amazed at what I seen and heard. Yeah. So I watched him on Facebook for I don't know a few months, and he would talk about, well, after this stream, we're going to go to Twitch. And I'm like, what the hell is Twitch? And I could barely figure out Facebook. So, you know, and they did their thing. So after, you know, I don't know, it was several shows. I was like, man, I'm going to go check this Twitch thing out. So I went over to Twitch, and then I was able to watch Ted over there. And I thought, well, that, you know, that's pretty cool. Now I, you know, see what else I can find over here, and, you know, start finding more stuff and watch Twitch. I don't know, maybe for about a year or so. And I thought, well, you know, I wonder if I could stream. And took a year to. I wonder if I could stream. I didn't play music, didn't play video games. I didn't have nothing to stream. And I was just sitting there one night. I was wondering if I could stream or not. And I was talking to Sir Cressum, if anybody remembers Sir Cressum. I haven't seen him for quite a while. But he was talking to him. I was like, man, I'll never be able to stream. You know, it's too hard. He's like, no, all you got to do is get on your phone and push this button and push that button. So I'm sitting here and I push this button and that button, and it's like, whoa, you're streaming. I was like, click, turn that dude off real quick. I was like, oh, let me regroup. So I go look, make sure there wasn't no damage or anything. I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, that seemed to be working. So I set the phone right here on the corner of the table, pointing up at the ceiling, while I tried to figure out stuff on the computer screen. Because I didn't want it showing me, and I didn't know what else to show or anything. So my first couple streams were just my phone sitting on a table, pointed at the ceiling until I got kind of everything figured out. So.
And you have a pretty good setup as far as like where you're looking at models and you're looking straight down, and then how you have the one that's facing you. I only have one camera, so I think that you're beyond me as far as Twitch is concerned.
Yeah, for the crafting, you kind of got to have what some people call a down camera, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And I built this little camera stand to put it on. But you kind of got to have that, like Chan, our buddy Chan does with the magic trick, Jack with the magic tricks.
Yep.
Some arts and crafters, Peekaboo Draws does it with their drawing, but yeah, you pretty much got to have one of them. It's more vital if you're doing the arts and craft thing than actually having the camera out there that shows your whole bead.
Yeah.
So, but somehow or another, we got two cameras working, and that's a setup we ended up with. Yeah, we went through a handful of different setups till we got everything kind of positioned and figured out. And I'm usually like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I usually never touch nothing. If it's working, I leave everything alone. Yeah. So I don't never get the wild hair to say, oh, let's move this over here and try this. Because if I do, it won't work. And then when I go back to before, I can't go back to before. You know, it's just like, well, why did I even touch it? You know, so
Right.
I've learned that over the days.
Interesting. Yeah. So go live is like it's like a big deal, and you did it, and you're doing great at it. You've got a fantastic following, which, by the way, thank you everyone for being here.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all being here too. Definitely.
Um, so okay, so we've got you on Twitch, and you're doing a bunch of really awesome things. And one of the things that you do is metal detecting. And so I'm curious as far as what got you into that, how long you've been doing that, and like what are some of the coolest things that you've ever found?
Uh, I got my first metal detector when I was like, I don't know, 9 years old, give or take, a little cheap one from Radio Shack. It worked, wasn't very advanced. And I spent countless hours in mom's backyard looking for stuff. I couldn't find anything. I didn't find anything. So I got discouraged with it, you know, kind of threw it in the closet and other stuff came along or whatever. Uh, and the reason I couldn't find anything is because there was nothing there to find. Yeah. If I had gone to a place where I could have found stuff, or if mom or somebody would have thrown some coins out there when I wasn't looking to give me kind of an incentive to keep going, it'd be a whole lot different story. So I first got into metal detecting when I was about 9 years old. Lasted maybe that summer, and then it fell out because I didn't find anything.
Hmm.
And I wished I'd stayed with it. All them days on the beach with the bands and nothing to do for 8 hours while we wait for dark or whatever I could have been. Yeah.
Okay.
So I left out of that. But about, I don't know, 2000, I'd have to look, but I don't know, 2010 to 12, maybe in that range. I was bored sitting over at my apartment one day. I mean, just bored out of my school. What can I do? I got to get out of here. I thought, you know, I'm gonna go to the creek to look for fossils. We got a creek right down there by us. So I'm gonna go down the creek and look for fossils and uh, see what I can find. You know, move the washing machine out the way and pull up the shopping cart and look under it. I never did find no fossils. But I thought, you know, while I was down there, I thought, you know what I really need down here is a metal detector. That's what I really need down here is a metal detector. Never did. I went since, never did find much there. But a few days after that, I got online at Walmart and got my first metal detector, $86.
Wow.
Bounty Hunter Tracker 4, Tracker IV.
Mm-hmm.
Worked fine. Yeah, it didn't have all the features as the high dollar ones, but it worked just fine. Uh, Went out and started finding a lot of stuff. I found my first gold ring within 6 days.
Wow.
And I was hooked. I was like, whoa, this was cool, you know. Found a few wheat pennies, stuff like that here or there. First thing I found was a silver ring. I found that a couple days after I got it. I found a silver ring.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. And then a couple days later, I found a gold ring. I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. The first year of having the cheap metal detector, I found about $1,000 in pocket change. So I went out and bought a good metal detector. Yeah, one that was $600. Uh, but the main thing I tell anybody, it's the best hobby ever, because after the initial purchase, there's other stuff you can buy, but you don't have to. But after you buy a metal detector and a shovel for digging and batteries, there's nothing else to buy. That's all you have to buy to be successful. Except for batteries, and you find more than enough money to buy the batteries. But you'll never find anything sitting on your couch. You have to get up and go out and do it. And that's the thing. And that first year, I did it a lot. Yeah, I did a lot. And that's the reason I found about $1,000.
Wow.
just in quarters, nickels, and dimes, pennies. Wrapped all them up as well. Uh,
Where do you go for this?
Here in Indiana, and probably most places, is just public lands. I go to public parks, city parks. I'll go to public schools when they're not in session. I'll go, check out the playgrounds at the public schools. I've hit a couple public library lawns. Uh, I could technically do fire stations and police stations and such, although I haven't yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, although technically I could, but mainly I just stick to the public parks, which have been pretty much hammered from the years of people's metal detectors. So you're not really going to find too much as far as anything old. Every now and then you'll find an old wheat penny or something like that. It's pretty rare nowadays. Uh, but I more hope to find something somebody's dropped instead of 100 years ago, maybe more recently, like in the last few years,
Right.
counting necklaces, rings, earrings, and such. And I do real well. I've found quite a few rings. Yeah, quite a few. This summer, we went quite a bit streaming on the early streams, and I couldn't tell you how much silver I found. I found quite a bit of silver. The best find of the year probably was a couple of them. I've still got them. I've got treasure boxes right here. We found a 10 karat gold chain with a 14 karat gold pendant on it. It was laying in some mulch on a playground. I didn't have to damage or dig it up. It wasn't damaged or anything. It's a beautiful necklace, actually. And then over at the park, Ellenberger Park, right over here, and it was buried. I had to dig it up, but it hadn't been buried long. I found a 30-inch sterling silver chain with a gold, and I believe it's gold. I haven't had it tested. It's not hallmarked, but I can't see. It doesn't stick to a magnet. I can't see any plating on it. It's very heavy, so everything it rings up as gold on the metal detector.
Right.
Everything's pointed towards it to be gold, and it holds a coin from 1790, I think, from the Netherlands, BOC coin, which aren't
British
that.
Columbia?
No, I'd have to look it up again. Yeah, I'd have to look it up. Something to do. Yeah, it's a Netherlands coin. I think it's got something to do with a person.
Oh, okay.
But they made three versions. This was 1790 now. They made three versions. They made a gold one, a silver one, and I believe a bronze one. And the one I have, I believe, is silver. It's definitely not gold, and I'm pretty sure it's not bronze. So I think the one I have is silver. Pretty good shape, It's mounted in a necklace, so it's not going to grade real high if you take it out and get it like graded or anything. Plus, I think you can get them coins for about $40 on eBay, depending on the condition of them. So it's a nice coin. It's not like worth thousands of dollars or everything, but you add it with the silver chain and the possible gold holder of the coin, and it's a pretty nice necklace. Yeah, it's really nice. And it was buried. I dug it up, but it's intact, and it's not damaged at all either. It's beautiful.
Wow.
I believe some vendor probably dropped that there. Yeah, because it's over the park here, and they have a lot of festivals and food trucks and concerts and such over there. A lot of vendors, and I found a lot of rings over there before too. So I'm thinking it's stuff that vendors have dropped.
Wow. So
We got it all in a treasure box.
do so you don't just like sell them outright?
No, I can't. A lot of people, E-Room, why don't you get rid of those things? I'm like, no, I can't. They're kind of like trophies for me. I don't know. I can't. I've given a few away here and there over time. A couple rings here or there, but other than that, I've got everything I've ever found as far as anything like valuable or whatever.
Right.
I've still got everything I've ever found that I even brought home with me. I've got buckets full of just anything metal you can think of.
Wow.
I thought was interesting or anything, but I got buckets full of stuff that's not real valuable, precious metal. Some of it can be sold. There's little pins and stuff and just all kinds of stuff. I mean, you can put it on the table at the yard sale and sell the stuff. It's not worthless. But the treasure boxes, I've got anything, the gold and silver and the diamonds, anything I think is more valuable or anything like that, I've got stashed. But I can't really get rid of anything because to me, they're trophies. Not all of them, but most of them I remember where I was when I found it. such place. How cool it was to find this, and yeah, they're each one. I kind of look at it as a songwriter writes all these songs, and they can't get rid of them because they're like their songs, or they're
Right.
that's kind of like me. I can't get rid of those because they're not songs that I've wrote, but treasures that I've found. Yeah. So,
That's
and it's a nice little nest egg. If I'm ever in walking over there to try to get a banana out of a food box and it ain't there, I could always sell these off and do something with it. But that day hasn't come yet. So,
full circle. You're in full circle. Bravo. Bravo. That was great. That was really great. And yeah, that's fascinating. I mean, that's just absolutely fascinating. And
yeah, it's a great hobby. Yeah, it really is a great hobby.
so, okay, so we're gonna kind of veer off a little bit, because you're talking about hobbies, and I'm curious about this. Kind of goes into what you were just talking about, which is collectible coins. So, what kind of coins do you have?
I've got a few, nothing extensive, nothing real valuable, just coins that I've seen, I've liked. I picked a lot of them up uh, here or there wherever I can get them, but I've gotten a few off eBay, and I maybe get one or two coins a year. It's not like I'm prolific or I go out searching for them or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, just I'm trying to get silver coins. I like silver dimes, old and new. For some reason, I just like dimes.
Mm-hmm.
They've made some late '90s into the 2000s, and to this day probably. They make silver dimes. I think they're proofs, so you probably won't find them in circulation, but you get them. They're silver, and you pay more for them. I've gotten several off eBay. And then I've got a little collection of the Mercury dimes and Roosevelt dimes pre
Yeah.
64 that
Wow.
I found metal detecting, and those are silver as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've got quite a few foreign coins, some foreign paper money. Yeah, just a little bit of anything that I can find or that really interests me. But I really like silver coins more than probably anything. Gold coins would be nice, but I better stick with silver. Yeah.
That's really wicked. So all right. So, do you have how many coins do you have that are non-American?
Oh, and I couldn't tell you what the countries are. I've looked some of them up in days of yore. Uh, I probably got I don't know, several dozen different coins from around the world. Yeah, none of them are slabbed or been graded or anything like that. They're just ones I've gotten found in change or somebody's given to me. Some of them are in nice shape. It's not like they've been ran over by a train or anything like that. Uh, but I've looked some of them up over the days, just out of curiosity or whatever, see where they're from, see what they're worth. And you look at this, and then I'll see the coin, and I'll go to eBay and type in that coin, and best place for fair market value is eBay.
Right.
I'll go to eBay, type in that coin, and I'll see that it's selling for, it'll say like, you know, a million of whatever, or 1,000 of whatever, words I don't even know,
Right.
and they'll say, well, it's on eBay for or valued for 6 cents or something silly like that, 13 cents or something like that. I'm like, you keep waiting to find the one that says like 1,000 or a million, whatever, and
Right.
you look, and it's actually worth that or whatever. But no, most of the ones that I've ever seen are worth a whole lot less than what you're kind of hoping they're for. Uh, Once you see the numbers on them, yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Supernatural Writer. Welcome on in. Yeah, I was looking at this. One of the most famous of this
Hi,
type
Super.
is Louis E. Elisberg, the only collector thus far to assemble a complete set of known coins in the United States. So I'm curious what that might mean. So probably like every year, it's been every quarter from every state. Like I'm sure every single everything.
Yeah, going back, a lot of variables could be on that too, because I'd have to see a picture of that. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because it depends on how far you go back to, and if you've got one of every one, that's pretty outstanding. and now I figure he's not counting like error coins and stuff like that. This is just a regular old coin because if you start getting into variations and error coins and such, it'd be too many to amass. Yeah, I don't think you'd ever find them all.
Right.
But that is pretty amazing. If he's got at least one of every coin that's ever been minted in the United States, like up till today, I guess. Yeah, that covers. I mean, you need a warehouse to put all them in, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently he passed in 1976. So coins ever assembled consisting of regular issue coins of every date, metal, denomination, and mint mark known to collectors at the time, with the
Wow.
coins in the best possible condition. He began the collecting in the 1920s and finished his set by purchasing the last gold coin he needed in 1949 and the last silver coin he needed, which was an 1873 no arrows dime in 1950.
uh,
That's crazy.
I wonder if he had children. And
Well, he's a senior, so I guess he had
all right,
children.
all right, yeah, yeah. Huh. Well, hopefully his whoever got that collection kept it intact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Uh,
I could see somebody getting a hold of that and selling one, and once you sell one, then the others start going.
yeah.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah,
They married and had two children. And then he remarried again, but he had two children in 1927.
yeah. Whoever that's been passed down to, I hope it's somewhere still intact.
Yeah, me too. Miss Jelly Beans, you're cracking me up. They're giving me all the stuff that's on your list, and I'm like, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. It's on the list, I promise.
Yeah.
um, okay, so let's get to the 12 cats. I think that's a great little segue. So, okay, let me get rid of all of this. We've done this, we've done this, we've done this, we've done chocolate, collectible coins, we've done streaming on Twitch. Okay, so yeah, so let's talk cats. Yes, there's a list. It's 15 things they like and 5 things they don't like, the streamer. And so we get the list and then we go down the list, not in order. I like to like throw things in there just for funsies. But yeah, let's talk about cats. So you have 12,
12 indoor cats, all rescues.
all rescues, and they get along with each other.
For the most part, yeah, we've got one here. This guy right over here, Gibson. He's a bully. Yeah, he's a bully to most of the other cats, except for Fat Belly. She's my oldest, and she don't like any other cats. She don't go near them,
Mm-hmm.
and the other cats don't go near her. So
That works out.
yeah, so they all pretty much get along. That they all get along. Every now and then, I got to scold Gibby for being an idiot. But other than that, yeah, they have their little skirmishes or whatever. Yeah, I put down 3 plates of food every morning, and they all gather around whichever plate. It's not like one scaring the other off from eating or anything like that. Yeah, they all get along pretty well actually. Yeah.
That's good. I have 3 cats, and one of them's a bully.
Yeah, yeah, got to have the bully in the group.
So yeah, she
But he
it's
knows, but he won't mess with Fat Belly. He'll bully all the other cats, even the bigger cats. But he won't mess with Fat Belly, huh?
that's pretty cool. That's a cool like standard in the house. Like nobody messes with Fat Belly.
Yeah, she don't.
Um okay, so how like do you have a full variety or is it mainly like tabbies and calicos?
What we got? We got a little bit of a mix. We've got a tuxedo kitty,
Ooh.
Bootsy girl. Yeah, yeah, she's dainty. She's small, black and white cat tuxedo type. I've got several tabbies. I've got 2 orange ones. Lucky girl. She's our set director. I was hoping she'd come up tonight. She's probably in there taking the cat nap. Lucky girl. Where's Lucky? But she dances. She's a prolific dancing cat. And then I've got and, orange cats are rare. And she's got short hair. And then I've got a bigger version of her that's a male with longer hair.
Wow.
I've got a Bombay, which is basically yellow-eyed black cat, solid black, nothing white on it, except for his skin. You get down below the black fur, he's got white skin. And I don't know if he's 100% Bombay, but he's along the lines of a Bombay. I've got my latest rescue was Fluffy White Kitty, the white cloud of death, or Cat NATO. And she's a cross between, I think, Siamese and Ragdoll. She was absolutely gorgeous.
Aww.
Gibby's a Russian blue. His Mama Gray, is a Russian blue. And Angel Kitty's a Russian blue. She's gorgeous too. A Russian blue with long hair. Mama and Gibby got the Russian blue's got short hair. Who else? Anything else? We got Pixie Girl. She's Torty. Got the black and orange. And who else am I forgetting? We got Fuzzball. He's my best looking cat. He is to die for, gorgeous. He's got the black and white, or the black and brown stripes, the big white furry mane, long
Oh,
fur,
wow.
white paws that just stop right here on a dead line on
That's awesome.
all four of his paws. Yeah, they don't blend in. They don't, go there. I mean, it's a dead solid line where they stop from darker colored fur to white colored
Little
fur.
mittens.
And he is, and I love them all to death. But yeah, he is by far. If I was to enter them all into a show, he would win out of looks. Yeah, he is a gorgeous, gorgeous cat. So, and I think that's most of them anyway. I've got five laying here on the couch with me. I've got Fat Billy, Big Boy. I got Angel Kitty and Pretty Boy, and Gibby laying back right there.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Normally I put up two maps behind me. Most day streams. Nighttime, a lot of times I got to put up only one map in the center because there's a cat on either end of the couch cushions.
Okay. And what's the map?
Maps. I've got a redeem on my stream. Put me on the map. If you redeem, if anybody redeems the redeem, I'll put attack on the map anywhere in the world where they're at. And I don't need like an address or anything. Just tell me your city, your state, something close by, and I put attack on the map for them. And then I log their name into a little notebook I got. But yeah, that's what the maps are there for.
That's precious.
Yeah.
I love that.
And every now and then I'll forget to put them up because I got 12 cats, so I got to take them down every time after the stream, or put them up before. And every now and then I'll be sitting here and start the stream. I'll look down and like, oh wait, the maps! I forgot the maps. I'll jump up, put the maps up real quick.
That's so cool. I'll have to hop on your stream and get the points. I think that's awesome.
I've got quite a few on the map, yeah.
Yeah. So it's weird. So I never knew what a Russian blue was. And I think my husband's listening, but I'm not really sure. But this is very close to my cat Crystal, who, by the way, is on the starting screen. She was the one, if you saw, was upside down with her mouth open. She's between like a Russian blue, a Siamese, and a regular tabby cat, like all in one. She is beautiful. And she's obsessed with me. Like I can't sleep at night until like she's on top of me.
Yes, people. Hold on, we got sirens. I think.
Okay.
I got a command for sirens, and it counts how many times we got sirens go by. But I live on a busy street. Hospitals over there, so.
Oh, okay.
We get quite a few of them all the time going past here. But yeah, there's a lot of people that they absolutely love Russian blue cats. Yeah, they're good cats. You know, other than Gibby being an idiot sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think mine are necessarily purebred Russian blue, but the majority of them is. They look like them. They kind of act like them too. So yeah, they're very, very cool cats.
And so, how did you said they're all rescues? So how did you continue to collect them?
I had one cat, Fat Belly. That was the only one I wanted. I rescued her out of a cage at Uncle Bill's Pet Center.
Aww.
14 years ago, give or take. And I thought, well, yeah, I got a cat, yeah. Lived alone. I'd been on the rock and roll road for a while. I've been doing some construction, traveling around, Midwest or better. And I thought, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm going to just not travel no more. So I got a cat. I thought that's the best way to do it. Just get a cat. You got to stay home. So I got
Right.
a Fat Belly. And about a year later, I used to volunteer, or still do when I can. I was volunteering over at the local park, Christian park I go to all the time, at their little league or whatever. And I was over there on a Saturday, walking back home from the game. It was just a few blocks over. I was walking back home from the games, and I noticed a trash bag laid over by the creek along like the walk path or whatever, and I looked. I was like, it was moving. I was like, oh God, don't let me be a baby. Then a cat kind of poked out of there, and I was like, oh my God, they're cats. I was like, God, don't let me bloody. Don't let me bloody. So I looked, and there was two cats in there. I forget which two. Uh, and they weren't, they had, mats and, they were, fleas or whatever. They weren't, abused or hurt or anything like that. Somebody just, threw them out in a trash bag.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
seen they were just little bitty cats.
Yeah.
Uh, they weren't like newborns or anything like that. They had fur and eyes open and playing about or whatever. But there was two in the bag, and then I got to looking around and I found two more that were kind of hiding by a tree or whatever. So there was four. And I looked and I was like, man, I hope there's not one here I'm missing. And I looked and I looked and I looked. And then it was it was kind of meant to be, I guess. So I'm kind of, oh my God, there's cats. I still got, two or three more blocks to walk to home, get a box, come back here and get these cats and walk back home. But about a block or so after uh, I'd seen the cats and left them there, uh, and just out of the blue, my buddy Scotty Tredebues here on Twitch, he's just driving around the corner. I hadn't talked to him or anything. I was like, hey, dude, what are you doing? And I was like, man, come here. I was like, man, I just found some cats. Run me home. We got to get a box. Let's come back here and get the cats. So he took me to the apartment. I ran in, got a box real quick. We ran back to the spot or whatever, found the four cats, looked around some more, make sure there wasn't any more. Four is all I could find. Took them home, and Fat Belly wasn't real happy about it at the time. Still not real happy about it, but took him to the vet, got them all cleaned up, fixed up, and I kept two, big boy and pretty boy, and adopted two brothers, and I adopted the two girls out, Gary Busey and one that would become named Peaches. Uh, and Peaches has since passed away, but Gary Busey's still doing pretty well, and Big Boy and Pretty Boy are doing pretty well, and they're 2010. They'll be 14 this year on April 20th.
Wow.
And then the other cats, uh, uh, Mama Gray, my buddy owns a nightclub. Speaking of, and I can't do this here, but speaking of, we got Lucky Girl, our set director here. Usually we'll do the Lucky Girl dance. So lucky, lucky. She's so lucky, lucky. She's so lovely, lovely. She's a lucky girl. Now we'll get to her story in just a second. Uh, but down at the bar, my buddy owns a nightclub bar down there, have bands and stuff. But there were stray cats come up out of the alley right there, and I started, feeding, make sure they got food and water and everything. Still to this day, I go down there every day, give cats food and water. They know where it's at. But there was one down there named Mama Gray, our little Russian blue, and she had some kittens, and I was like, what do I do? So we adopted a few of them out or whatever, and then she had another litter. I couldn't touch her. Yeah, it was 13. She wouldn't let me touch her for 13 months.
Wow.
And then she had another litter. And I was like, how am I going? So I took Angel Kitty from her first litter, and then I took Fuzzball from her second litter, and as soon as I moved into here a few years ago, because I couldn't fit her in my apartment, I brought her home. I got her fixed as soon as I could touch her or whatever. First thing I did was we went and got her fixed. But it was a little bit after that, and I finally, she lived down there for 5 years. I was finally able to bring her home, so she's paid her dues. Yeah, she's one of my favorite cats.
Aww.
Yeah, she's paid her dues. But she had two litters, and we adopted most of them out. And the people, my buddy Jimmy, he took two of them, and his buddy Ronnie took two of them. Uh, Bootsy and Saw, I'm trying to remember them all. But Ronnie passed away, and I take care of Jimmy's cats for him here. So they've all come. They were all with me. Talk about full circle. They were all with me when I raised them down at the bar. I got them all adopted out, and now they've all come back to me again somehow or another. So, but they've all been fixed. The chain is broken.
Mm-hmm.
I got a handful of them from Mama Gray down at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Pixie Girl came from a buddy of Jimmy's that passed away, and my buddy Jimmy, took on the cat. And we don't know how old Pixie Girl is, or we don't know anything about her. She had a brother back in the day named Dixie, Pixie and Dixie passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jimmy's owner, or the cat's owner, passed away, and no, cat's owner passed away, and another guy took Pixie. He had Gibby too, and Socks, and he passed away. And then I got him somehow after that. So yeah, Pixie had been through two owners, different owners that passed away, and then the other ones, their owner passed away. So
is this the same cat? Is this Lucky Girl that just keeps coming back on your lap?
yeah, she's our set director. She's trying to get up here and make sure the set's okay. But yeah, and she dances and other things too. But yeah, she's something
God.
else.
Oh my goodness. You just keep putting her down and then she walks around and she comes
Back
back up again. That's great.
Right here, we're supposed to dance.
Well, I mean, thank you from the Society of People Who Love Cats and Animals of taking so many cats in and giving them a protective, healthy home.
But wait, there's more.
Oh boy.
After that batch, my two last ones, shortly before I moved out of my apartment a couple years ago, I was walking through the hallway, and most of the place was abandoned by then. There's only a couple of us still living there, and I just happened to be at the right time or whatever, walking. Usually went the other direction, but I just happened to be walking from this direction. I heard a meow. And I thought it was kind of my cats. And I got so close to my door, and it wasn't my cats. It was another cat. But like I say, most of the building had been abandoned. It's abandoned now, but most of the buildings were boarded, or the units were boarded up. Small building, 4 units downstairs, 4 units upstairs, or same amount upstairs. And recently, like a week before that, they'd had SWAT raids there. It was a bad place.
Yeah.
I never had any problems. Never had any problems. But they had SWAT raid there and pulled everybody out of there and boarded the place up or whatever. And I guess unbeknownst to them, they'd locked Lucky Girl in there, boarded her up inside the apartment. She'd been there for a week because the raid was a week before. So about a week later, I hear her meow, and I was like, man, that's a cat. So I went back downstairs. It was upstairs. I went back downstairs, grabbed my tools, and took the board off the door, opened the door to the apartment. It was unlocked. I was getting ready to bust into it, but it was unlocked. Took the plywood off, opened the door, and there she stood, Lucky Girl, right there at my feet, happy to see somebody. So I brought her down home, and she joined the family right then and there. The other cats weren't real happy about it, but and she was doing fine. Got her checked out and everything. Everything's good. And yeah, she's an internet star now. And the last cat I found was Fluffy White Kitty, who I'm surprised we haven't seen yet. She's a hot mess. Yeah, well, they're both, I figure, about 2 years old. They're pretty young. But she's a Siamese ragdoll mix. Just Phyllis Diller, if you guys remember Phyllis Diller, the Phyllis Diller of cats.
Oh my gosh.
She is just drop dead gorgeous too. So. But that covers most of them anyway.
That's amazing. And I really love how you went in to like swatted out areas to get a cat.
Oh yeah, I would. Yeah, if I knew, or I heard that's why I named her Lucky. Actually, her name's Lucky Kitty. We call her Lucky Girl. Yeah, that's what I call her Lucky. Because if I hadn't been going that way, if another, a day or however long went by, or she wasn't in bad shape. Not like she had a little bit of time left. But yeah, if I wouldn't have hurt her at that moment in time, I don't know if I would have hurt her again. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, we call her Lucky Girl.
Did the sound go out, Sloth? You said sounds back. Did the sound go out?
I can hear you and I've always heard you. I'm
Yeah.
gonna grab a Sprite real quick. I'll be right back.
Sure. Did that happen
Hey.
for anyone else where the sound went out? Okay, good. Thank you. I was panicking. I was like, I don't know, but I have no drop frames or anything, so I'm sorry that the sound went out for you, Sloth. Hopefully the VOD you'll be able to catch it. I also put everything up on YouTube, so this will be up on YouTube by tomorrow morning. So yeah, very windy in the UK. My goodness. Okay, so we've gone through your cats. I want to get to some dislikes just for a second, which is most fruits and most vegetables, things I don't like. So I need you to elaborate for me what about fruits and what certain vegetables do you not like? Like what is the banana story? If you had to eat one, you might, but if not, then it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, most of them I wouldn't eat. No, most of them I wouldn't eat. I don't eat any fruits. I like some of the flavors. I don't like all the flavors. Uh, not like flavor like a grapefruit, or I'm not big on maybe a mango or something like that. A lot of them I've never even tasted. I just could tell I don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like some of the fruit flavors. I love cherry, but I wouldn't eat a cherry. I like grape. I wouldn't eat a grape. All the above. Yeah, I don't eat any fruits. When I was a kid, I used to eat, like I say, I used to eat bananas. I would eat, and I'm a real picky eater. Everything got to be a certain way, and I would eat apple. And today I might still eat a piece or two of apple, but it'd just be a piece or two.
Mm-hmm.
But I love apple flavor, apple juice even. Just something about the fruit. But if I was eating an apple, even when I was a kid, it had to be peeled and then cut off in chunks. I wouldn't like bite it out of the apple or anything. And yeah, and I wouldn't eat the red or green or whatever peeling it. It had to be peeled and then had to be cut in little chunks, and that's the only way I'd eat apple. I do like apple sauce. Uh, Now, like I say, I like apple, Jolly Rancher apple, sour apple or whatever. I like apple Pop Tarts if you can find them. Yeah, it's just the fruit itself. So I don't eat any fruits. Yeah, and I've never, even as a kid, there was only a couple that I would eat, and I don't eat them now.
So is
Uh,
it a texture issue or?
it's got to be. So with some of them, it'd be a taste as well. But other than that, like I drink orange juice, but I wouldn't eat an orange.
Mm.
No, yeah, there's not one fruit that I eat, and most of them you can put off a big list that I've never even tried, but I know better than to even at this point in time to even try them. I might like the flavor, but I wouldn't like the fruit. Uh-uh. So I don't eat any fruits, and I don't eat any vegetables. And vegetables is more of a flavor thing than a texture, where it's the other way around with the fruit. I just don't like the taste of vegetables. The only vegetables I'll eat. I'm from Indiana. I'll eat pretty much any kind of corn. Cream corn on a cob out of the can, lunch tray corn. Uh, I'll eat pretty much any kind of corn. I like peas. Believe it or not, that blows me away. I like peas. I'll eat a couple variety. Mostly, it's got to be Del Monte in the can.
Mm-hmm.
I won't eat no lunch tray peas or TV dinner peas or anything like that. And I'll eat green beans,
Mm-hmm.
and those have to be Del Monte in the can with the ends cut off of them.
Yeah.
That's the only way they can be. I won't eat any kind of green bean from a restaurant, any kind of green bean homemade from a vine, anything out of a TV dinner. Yeah, the only green beans I'll eat are Del Monte in a can. A few different brands of peas and any kind of corn, and that's the only vegetables I eat. Yeah, unless you count a potato. I eat potato. I don't know how that applies. But
Yeah.
I love ketchup. I wouldn't eat a tomato for nothing.
Interesting. So, okay. it's a texture issue and it's a flavor issue. Where
More flavor with the vegetables. Because I
right.
like most of the fruit flavors, but vegetables, I just like carrots. I could eat a carrot, and I do if they're cut up real small, like in little pieces in pot pie or something like that. I can do. I won't pick every one out necessarily, but I won't eat them if they're a big slice or a thick slice or take a bite off. I would not eat a carrot because I don't like carrot cake or anything like that because I just don't like the taste of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's quite a few along the vegetable line, like cabbage. I've eaten cabbage before when I was young. I just don't like the taste of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean cabbage is a good example of the thing that most people aren't really huge fans of.
Yeah. I mean,
It like smells in your mouth. Like how does something do that? It smells in your mouth. Like
I mean, yeah, but the list goes on and on. Broccoli, cauliflower, I don't know, celery is a fruit or vegetable. Anything, I mean, anything you can name, pretty much. Yeah.
yeah. So, okay, where do you get your nutrients?
I have no idea. Yeah. My cereal box says, 4 to 5 with 10 essential vitamins and nutrients or
Done.
whatever. I
Done.
think along that line, yeah. The sun, maybe. Yeah, I have no idea. And other people have asked me that too. It's like, I don't take any kind of vitamin. I don't take any meds. I haven't had a headache in at least 15 years. I
Wow.
haven't taken an aspirin, a Tylenol. I don't take any kind of vitamins. I don't take any supplements. Geritol. I've never even taken a Tums in my life.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't take anything, and I can still ride a bicycle. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good for you. You're one of those what's the word? Unwavering types, right? Like
I,
you stand stoic. You are strong automatically in your genes.
More than anything, I just don't really give it a thought. Like I've never worried about my weight. I've never counted a calorie. I've never, I couldn't tell you what the hell gluten is. I don't care if I got it in my food or not. It don't matter. I ask for extra gluten and they won't give it to me. I just, yeah, I've never even, it doesn't even enter my mind. As a rule, except for when the band days when we ate 5 or 6 times a day because they fed us all the time.
Mhm.
I've usually only eaten once in my life or once a day for most of my life, adult life anyway. Even to this day, I haven't had a morsel of food. It's 9:45 now. I haven't had a morsel of food all day long, and I got some chicken for dinner. I ate pizza last night. I'll probably cook me some chicken here, I don't know, 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then I'll eat. I'll get up and do the same thing tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we eat late usually because either I'm streaming or he's home late. So like we're late eaters, and when like Thanksgiving rolls around and they're like, "Here, it's 2 o'clock, eat," we're like, we don't have any appetite. Like there's no way any food is going down.
I that's kind of funny. One year, my family would do the same thing. It's like each year we'd gather, back when my mom was alive, each year we'd gather, we get together at 4 o'clock on the Christmas holiday or whatever. Then before you know it, we're getting together at 3, and before you know it, we're getting together at 1:30, and we're getting together at noon.
Yeah.
And one year I was like, Mom, if you get together any sooner than this, you're gonna have to have Christmas breakfast instead of
Mhm.
dinner. And she thought about it, and that next year we had Christmas breakfast. Yeah, we had Christmas breakfast that next year. So,
Oh my gosh. Oh,
so
that's
mom
lovely.
passed away. My sister Amy does it now.
Mhm.
She lives out east, not a big crowd or gathering.
Mhm.
But she's moved it back a little bit later too. Yeah, she's like, yeah, noon is a little bit too early. Yeah.
Aw, I love traditions like that. I think they're so important.
But it was cool the year that we had the Christmas breakfast because you're used to the turkey or the ham or this or whatever, and this year we had eggs and bacon and sausage and pancakes and hash brown, anything you could think of for breakfast. And I mean it was a cool change of pace. Yeah, it was really cool.
Wow. Wow. All right, so we'll get off the fruit and veggie kick. I like to go into a few things you don't like, only a few of them. Um, let's go into the Andy Griffith show.
That's one of my likes.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
We're switching back and forth. I don't like
All
to
right.
stay too much in the dislikes, then it brings down the show. And the streamers. Okay, so Andy Griffith Show. Tell me why this is your favorite.
I've loved it growing up. It was on probably before my time. I kept caught the reruns of it as a kid. Even to this day, it's just the comedy between Andy Griffith and Don Knotts is just out of this world. I mean, there was times they didn't even have to say anything, just by the way they looked at each other or interacted or whatever. Just made the live studio audience at the time just roar in laughter. It's down home. It's wholesome. It's just a good show with good episodes. A lot of them got little life lessons in them or whatever. I always loved like the style of the '50s and the early '60s, the decor, the music, the cars, and such like
Yeah.
that. Better place and better time, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was always drawn to the Andy Griffith Show. It's not like I wanted to grow up and live in Mayberry or anything, anything like that. I just always, even as a kid, I thought it was, a good show. It really is, and it is. You can look it up, and it's one of the, by ratings or whatever, one of the best shows there ever was.
So 8 seasons, 249 episodes,
I have them all on DVD.
and it released in 1960 and ran till 1968. And that's a big difference. Like 1960 and 1968, in my opinion, is a big difference.
Yeah, you're talking worlds apart in that little bit of timeline there.
Right. And I feel that's the same here, even with technology. From 2010 to 2020, the technology, if you just look at the iPhone, is
don't blink.
yeah. So how did the show change for you over that time? Did you feel like it was any different? Do you feel like it moved well with the times and those sort of what is the word I'm looking for? That wholesomeness? Do you feel like it kept all of its original?
I kind of look at it as the world moved on and it's kind of stuck in its own little time bubble.
Got it.
And anytime I can go there and spend a little of my time now, at that time, in that time, it's a little bit of like I say, it takes me back to a better place and time, even if it's only for 30 minutes or whatever. I kind of forget about all this going on out here, and I immerse myself into that. And it's very relaxing. It's like, yeah, this is calm, peaceful, wholesome. It's entertaining, funny. Yeah, most often funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it was my. Everybody's got their own little favorite show or whatever, and it was mine. And basically, just took me back to a better place in time. Yeah.
Yeah, and Guriki agrees. Andy Griffith was outstanding, wholesome entertainment.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I may be wrong. I think it went out on top. There was only a few shows that went out when they were like number one, and I think Andy Griffith's show might have been one of those. I'd have to look that up though.
Number one in 1967. 3 in 66, and basically it goes down from there. But in September of 1967, its rank was number one.
Yeah, they went out on top.
Yeah, with 15.64 million viewers.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it was definitely popular. Yeah, still is to this day. You can still, it doesn't show it on my TV, but the different oldies channels on the different cable networks across the country. Yeah, they still show it to this day.
Yeah. Wow. And yeah, black and white and color. How did that? I mean.
Yeah, they switched over. I forget what year it was, but I think after the first couple seasons, they switched over. Maybe more than that. They switched over from the black and white to the color.
That's a big deal.
And I, for some reason, I don't know, I seem to like the earlier episodes, the black and white episodes, better than the color ones.
Okay.
Yeah, and not, not by leaps and bounds or whatever, but just in general, yeah, I always thought the earlier ones, the black and white ones were I don't know, I like them better.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's cool. And I was also looking at the Emmys and stuff, and outstanding performance by actor or actress in a series, Don Knotts. Outstanding program achievement, field of humor. Again, Don Knotts, Don Knotts, Don
That's
Knotts.
incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. Outstanding Comedy Series nominated. Wow. Donnie Comes to Mayberry won. That's great. That's
Yeah.
great, great, great.
Serious talent and all them people there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. It was ranked, the episode Opie and Birdman was ranked number 24 on TV Guide's 100 Greatest Episodes of All Time.
I remember that one. I remember them all pretty much. Yeah.
Ninth on the list of 50 best shows of all time. And 15 on their list of 60 greatest shows of all time. So it was in TV Guide a lot. We could totally talk about it, Gariki, but yeah, there's the list goes out till February, mid-February. I've had it go out to February since November. It's kind of that way. But yeah, we'll talk. Let's totally talk. Send me a Discord DM. Okay. Andy Griffith Show. So now we're going to talk about two more things. We'll talk about... Curious if they have this on Wikipedia. They do. Tell me about self-checkouts. You put it on your likes list, your self-checkouts, and I'm just curious why.
For several reasons. You don't have to look at the store clerk. You don't have to listen to the store clerk. You don't have to smell the store clerk. You don't have to interact with the store clerk in any way. Your bags are bagged the way you want them to be bagged. Your change is always correct, and they can't ring stuff twice, unless you do it yourself. You don't get stuff rang twice. It's just, for me, it's just so much better. Yeah. I'm more in control of my own destiny with self-checkouts than I am with somebody else handling my products and my money.
So you're the one who goes to the store and only buys a few things then?
Yeah, usually. Yeah. I don't leave with like shopping carts full of stuff. Can't really afford all that.
Right.
Don't need all that, and ain't got room to put all that.
Right.
But over at the Kroger, over here at their self-checkouts, it don't matter. You can go up there, you can two or three cartloads of stuff like that.
They get at you if you're over 20 items here. Like, they get
at
you.
I'll say that don't happen over there. And I don't know if that's worldwide, but over there, yeah.
Wow.
So, but they move pretty quick. They usually keep they've got maybe one or two humans running the registers, and they usually keep, like a dozen of the self-checkouts running. So they usually go pretty quick,
Yeah, that's, I got yelled at once for having too many items.
Yeah, they don't have signs or anything over there, you'll see people pull up a couple carts, and you're like, well, I ain't going to that one anytime soon.
Absolutely. I'm not keen on self-checkout. It's useful, but they reduce the workforce. Yes. I agree with that statement. But for the introverts of the world, self-checkout, having the option for self-checkout, I think the problem right now is that there's not enough registers open. So self-checkout becomes the only option. If you go ahead and give the option of self-checkout with like 20 items or less, and then you have more cashiers open, there wouldn't be a problem with flow. But when there's only 2 cashiers open and the lines are this way because you can't have more than 20 items in the self-checkout line, that's when you need more self-checkouts. That's my opinion on it. I don't know if you agree or disagree.
You got to remember, too, that if there weren't no self-checkouts, the people that make the self-checkout machines wouldn't be able to feed their families.
That too. And then who service them as well. So it's a I agree with you, Gariki, but I also agree that there's a bigger problem at hand. But so I was reading this. So as of 2013, there were 191,000 self-checkout units deployed. By 2025, it's projected that 1.2 million units will be installed worldwide. It is estimated that the self-checkout system market in the U.S., which accounts for 41% of the global market, reached $1.4 billion in 2021. Wow. They were introduced to the public in 1986 by Check Robot, was installed at Kroger near Atlanta, Georgia.
And I probably would have went to it if I'd have been down there.
um, okay, so we're near the end here. Let's do one more, which is one of my favorites, which is solving puzzles.
I love some puzzles.
Puzzle. What did the jigsaw puzzles, right?
We do live interactive jigsaw puzzles on stream every night about 7:30 Eastern time.
That's
I like
amazing.
I like IRL puzzles, online puzzles, puzzles in the newspapers, anything you can.
I'm also a puzzle fanatic. I get puzzle books from Dell Penny Puzzles, where they're literally variety books that have all sorts of different puzzles in them, and I'll just go through and do a bunch of those. Penny Dell Puzzles is like number one for the puzzle provided. Like they've got crossword books, they've got word search books, and then they've got all the crazy ones.
Yeah, I love the crypto quizzes, the jumbles, and all the other off kind of puzzles from your standard, loop a word and crossword puzzle, which I like all the above.
Yeah. So tell me, I mean, have you always been doing puzzles? Have you always been doing?
Yeah, I've done puzzles for a long time. I don't remember really when I started doing puzzles. I must have been young. Obviously, you get little puzzles as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't like, when I was a kid, I had models sitting on the table working on models or this or that. I didn't have puzzles. I think I started getting more into puzzles probably, I don't know, in my late teens, I think. Just getting one here. I didn't jump into it with both feet. I got a puzzle as a gift for Christmas or something and worked it. And I thought, well, this is pretty cool. And, then I'd pick up more puzzles and, here or there. And then for a while, I got a wood shop. And in my wood shop, I was making picture frames and uh, putting puzzles in them. So I made a bunch of puzzles and made the picture frames for them. Even to this day, when we were shut down, the bar was shut down for 14 months for COVID. I can't do puzzles anymore, IRL, unless they're real small because I got 12 cats, so I
Right.
can't
Yep.
do puzzles. But while the bar was shut down for 14 months, nobody was even in there. 14 months. I went down there every night, checked on the animals. I hung out, but on each of the tables, there weren't a whole lot of tables, maybe 8 or 10. Each of the tables, I had a different model or puzzle on each of the tables, and I'd go there one night and I'd work on this model. And I knew I didn't have to put anything up because we were closed. Wasn't nobody coming there.
Right.
Next night, I'd go there and I'd work on this puzzle, and I just so for them 14 months, I couldn't tell you how many puzzles and models that I made. I've got a big bag full of puzzle boxes back there.
Wow. Yeah, I'm in the middle of doing a puzzle and it's on an flat Amazon box that I like taped up so it's more stern.
Yeah.
And I got the outline. It's like a 500 piece. I got the outline going and I'm about to do the insides, but I've got 3 cats. So it's like up on an Amazon box on top of another box that they can't get to, like half hanging over so the pieces might fall off. I don't know. But like just because I have 3 cats, I have to completely to go through hoops just to do a jigsaw puzzle.
And yeah, I can't. I don't with 12 cats. I don't even try. And what's funny, before I leave the house, anytime, every time before I leave the house, I do what I call kitty proof in the house. I make sure everything's taken off the table.
Mm-hmm.
This is put up. That's put up. This door's closed. Yeah, I don't leave the house without kitty proof in the house every time I leave it. Yeah, in the same aspect. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the end of the night, everything that's on this table before I go to bed at night, everything will be pretty much, the computer will be shut and everything else will be pretty much off the table until tomorrow.
Yep. Yep. All right, so let's talk about Kinder eggs. Let's go ahead and do the Kinder egg.
Yeah, let's open a Kinder egg. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see it from that distance.
I got you.
Should I switch my camera back?
Yeah, you can switch your camera. I've got you big on the oops. I've got you big here. So
all right, well, we'll do it that way. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Again, we've got a Kinder Funko Pop. It just says Funko. It doesn't say Pop. Funko Harry Potter Kinder Egg from the USA, which is different than the UK or the Kinder Eggs from abroad we mentioned earlier. But the UK or the USA Kinder Egg comes in 2 halves. It's plastic, comes in 2 halves. And in order to get the halves apart, we get to enjoy what we call the Kinder Pop. It's a beautiful sound. Everybody, in chat or what have you, you're gonna want to turn your volume up, put your headphones on so you can hear every bit of this. Shut the windows. Tell Grandma I'll shut up for a minute, and so you can enjoy every bit of this. So let me kind of get. I keep wanting to do it under this camera out of habit, but get ready to enjoy a Kinder Pop. And
Oh yeah.
a Kinder Pop. And then on this side is the gold side. That's where the chocolate is. It can keep you alive sometimes. If you're on a desert island, uh, Galloway, I think, mentioned something about desert island earlier. Always keep a Kinder Egg with you because the chocolate in there can keep you alive. You can use this gold mylar here as a reflective material. A rescue craft. If you've got a few of these, you can tape these together and make a thermal blanket out of them.
Oh my gosh.
There's so much stuff. Once you eat the chocolate out of here, you can use the egg, the plastic egg, as a drinking vessel. You go down to the lagoon, you get you a good drink of water.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely wonderful stuff there. And then we got the white side here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how well you'll see it, but it comes with an enlarged, extra large Kinder guitar pick. Yeah, Kinder's thinking of the young kids, small hands, easy to hold with this guitar pick.
Uh-huh.
Help them out while they're young. So
Right,
it's
right.
embossed with the Kinder logo. Absolutely thinking out of the box right there. Absolutely love it. This side, we got the white side. It's the toy. We're trying to get together the Harry Potter set. There's 12 different figures in it. I don't know them all. I've never seen Harry Potter. I'm familiar with a few of the characters, but we've got 5 of the 12. So we may get a duplicate, or we may get one that we don't have yet. Odds are in our favor still at this point, but it could go either way. If you guys want to see, just Google Harry Potter Kinder and you'll see there's 12 little figures that we get. And they don't do anything. They just kind of come with a string. You can make a necklace out of them or they stand there. But they're Harry Potter. They don't have to do nothing. People still going to want to buy them, like me. All right, let's see what we got in here. And we're hoping for one we don't have. And on the regular series, this is a little subset, specific to Harry Potter. They've got a regular series. It could be anything: animals, aliens, UFOs, vehicles that roll, stuff that shoots projectiles. They got a lot of cool ones. So we usually like the animal ones or the projectile shooting ones, or the cool ones along that line. And this one is, I know this guy. We got him. This is the first one we got. This is Albert Dumbledore. I think they had him listed on the sheet of paper I took a picture of and posted online. But this is like the college professor.
Mm-hmm.
So and his name, they got his name misspelled on there. I don't know how, but on the picture I used to put on the screen to kind of check off what we got. But this is a duplicate. So we'll add this to the collection. Doesn't do anything for us as far as getting one more closer to finishing the 12-piece set. But when you're going to play this kind of game, you're going to get duplicates. Yeah.
So with the UK one, what is the difference of the toy?
The toys are all the same. Not all. They've got different ones there and here, but there's a lot of times where I've had a UK egg that Penguin has sent to me, and I've got the same toy out of it that I would have got out of a USA egg.
But the reason that you cannot, that the UK one is banned in the US is because
it falls under. It's not specifically banned itself. It happens to fall into a category of banned items from like the 40s or sometime a long while back. Whoever the big wigs made up a list of stuff that you can't have, and I guess the Kinder egg from UK fell under that category. So Kinder changed it to this one that's going to be sold in the USA. But the ones from England and such, instead of being 2-piece half eggs, plastic, it's aluminum. It's a hollow chocolate egg like you'd get in your Easter basket, just a thin-walled hollow chocolate egg wrapped in aluminum foil. And inside of the hollow chocolate egg is a little capsule, usually yellow, that big. And then inside the capsule is the toy. So, and
Oh.
on the USA ones, they've got the chocolate on one side of the plastic egg and the toy on the other side of the plastic egg. And the reason is, I guess, the U.S. bigwigs that are all passed away by now, they were worried about kids swallowing this massive, giant yellow plastic capsule. Yeah.
Because the toys are smaller than almost smaller than the toys in America are almost the same size as that, right? Like the
Look,
Dumbledore that you just pulled out, is that the same size as the yellow thing?
yeah, most these should fit in here. Yeah, they
Oh,
all fit
okay.
in here. Yeah.
So it's
A lot,
smaller
a lot
than the yellow thing, and yet they're
yeah,
worried about a choking hazard.
yeah, and I've taken quite a few, and I wondered that myself. I've taken quite a few uh, of the Kinder eggs that I've got from the United States, and a few of the empty eggs that came over when Penguin sent stuff to us, and put them in, for safekeeping. Put them in here, and every one of them fit. I was like, yeah, they got this thought out. Yeah.
Wow.
So, but they were actually worried about somebody eating, or a kid swallowing that. I mean, hell, a full-grown rhinoceros would have trouble swallowing that thing. A little baby.
Yeah.
But then, like I say, these weren't specifically targeted. It was just they fell under this category or under this list, so they got banned that way. But Kinder, being the company that they are, found a way around it. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and I've got all kinds of them. I try to get the little subsets together. They'll have little, a specific little subset, 16, 10, 12, 8 individual toys, like of, say, of animals or of space figures or, you name it, Harry Potter. But there's 12 in this set currently, and we've got 5. So we'll keep opening them until we get the set or until we get real close and we get tired of buying them. We'll get the last one we need off eBay. Yeah.
Wow. That's great. Well, that was a great way to end the stream.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, Panda.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. This has been delightful. Your stories are charming, if not fantastic, and your cats are beautiful. As are
Thank you.
you, Eroom.
One more thing I want to do before we do get out.
Yeah. Aw, thank you, Eroom.
You're welcome.
That's very kind of you. Eroom just subscribed to Tier 1. Thank you. And Miss Jellybeans, again, thank you so much for subscribing as well. It definitely helps me and helps the channel. So, let's go ahead real quick and see who is on. Mute. Who is on right now? Because every time I go ahead and get somebody, they're signing off for the day. We all seem to end around 9 p.m. So, yeah, see, Bill Larkin music is about to end for sure. I want to go to him, but I will not. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll go to... Sorry, guys, I'm floundering. Let's go to any other... Do you guys have any suggestions?
What is tonight? Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, obviously. No, I usually just, whoever's on that kind of jumps out at me, I usually try to keep it inner circle or somebody that got low viewer count that could probably, they would enjoy having a couple more people show up.
Yeah. So...
But I raid 14 times a week, so I get to raid a lot of people.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and do puzzles and stuff. Let's do Subtract a Cat. He's only been on for 10 minutes, and I met Subtract a Cat at TwitchCon, and he's very, very nice, and he sings very funny. So raid this. Raid. Alrighty. Copy that right now.
This was a blast tonight. I appreciate you having me on. I've never done anything like this before.
Yeah.
It was cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I'm so happy to hear that. And again, we enjoyed having you on. So, all right. Cool, guys. We're going to go see Subtract a Cat. He does things like Beat Saber and puzzle games, so I'm sure you'll like the puzzles. He's doing the Talos Principle 2. So, all right, guys. Have a good one. Raid now.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
And stop